a conference room right over there all day today, learning about how the big guys are helping more people get more deals done. We've talked about a lot of stuff, from YouTube videos to Facebook ads to setting up your team for success. We talked about writing and publishing books. We talked about so many different amazing things. But the biggest thing that I've learned since I've been here is you have to come to these events. You have to come to these events. It's real cute and easy to sit behind your phone and to sit behind your keyboard and talk about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. But getting together with people actually doing what you want to do, it's unreal. It is unreal. It is unbelievable. I have some really big goals for 2020 and found out today that these guys are wanting to do that a day. I've got goals for every month next year, and these guys are wanting to do that every day, and if not every day, every week. It's fine. My goals are still my goals and their goals are their goals, but it also just lets me know that it's possible. And that's what you're going to learn at She Buys It Live. I stood up this morning, we went around and said, who we are, where we're from, and what we do. We had a 30-second elevator pitch. And there are some big, name brand, fancy, famous real estate investing coaches, wholesalers, mentors. They're behind those glass doors right there, okay? If some of them walk out, that'll be awesome. We'll have a little spotting. But what I've learned from them is that you have to be here. You have to be doing these deals. I also learned that if you're not coming to events and you're not showing up and growing, then you're not doing your family or your community a good service. So we went around this morning and everybody is like super impressed with everybody else that's here, and nobody here really knows me. That's not true. There was a couple of the women that knew who I was, and there was even two dudes that came up to me. One I sat with at lunch, and another guy that met me after lunch, and he was like, I love what you're doing. I love the way that you're empowering women to get out there and do more deals and all this stuff. So this morning, the very first thing we did was an elevator pitch. And it was a chance to introduce yourself to everybody. Okay, well, true confessions time. My mom's granny, or my granny, no, my mom's granny, had the third pew on the left side at church, and that's where we always sat. If you go to Loveland Baptist, my mom and dad will be planted in the third pew left side right off the altar. So when I go to seminars, I go to the front row, third seat back, and I just feel like that's my spot on the left side. So I'm sitting right up there in the very front of the room. Don't sit in the back of the room, y'all. Sit in the front of the room. You'll pay more attention, okay? I promise. Sit in the front of the room. When I come to these events, I'm sitting in the front of the room, and you can see that in my pictures. But you're sitting in the front of the room because the speakers can see you, you pay more attention, your pictures are better, you don't miss anything, or you don't miss as much because squirrel brain. But I'm sitting up there, and then the guy that's emceeing the event came over and said, all right, and we're going to start right here. Well, I learned in a couple different marketing books, but in the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, it's the first to market and that gets the advantage, okay? Also, I know that people remember the first thing that you say to them, and then remember the last thing that you said to them. So, guess who was the first person to introduce herself this morning? Me, because proximity is power. Tony Robbins tells you that proximity is power, and that's why he has his higher end platinum partnership people sit right around the front so that they're closer to him, because there's more power in being close and being with the speaker and being like right there so you can go up on stage or whatever. So I was the first person to introduce myself this morning, and I said, and I love you all to pieces, but I stood up in all my pink glory, just like I always am, and I told all the big fancy guru guys that we're all slightly obsessed about that I help women get their deals done. I help women do real estate deals. I help them do their first deal. And I told them, because it's the truth, all right? Y'all in the FDDF family know it's the truth, and those of you going to She Buys It Live know it's the truth, because this is who I am, so this is the kind of woman that I work with. But I told all the guys, and I'll tell you too, I help the high maintenance chicks that the guys don't want to deal with. I love answering the high maintenance questions. I love answering the small questions. I love getting past those little blocks and getting on to talking to the sellers. I love all of that stuff. So I told the guys that I help the high maintenance girls, because it takes one to know one. Mom, you know what I'm talking about? It takes one to know one. So I help all those women that have 100,000 different questions and need to go through it with somebody to squash those crazy ideas in their crazy girl brain. I didn't tell them all that, but I also told them, so I help these women so they can become that Proverbs 31 woman that they want to be, who goes to inspect a field and she buys it. The name of my company is She Buys It. And that's what I do. And now 120 other gurus know that I'm the woman that helps other women get deals done. And I'm gonna be helping you get those deals done next month in Knoxville at She Buys It Live. Because, and I've talked to several of the ladies when we broke on different sessions. I've talked to a couple of the gentlemen here, and they completely agree that there's 120 people here. So this is a small event. Tony Robbins has 9,000 people at an event. That's a large event, okay? 100 people at my events right now might as well be 9,000 people, because it feels huge. But it's still a small enough group where you can go around and everybody can introduce themselves. You can go around, everybody can have plenty of time to talk to each other. You can go around and you can actually work on getting some deals done. You can ask real questions. And that is the most beautiful thing that I can offer you this year at She Buys It Live. It's a safe place for you to ask those questions. The questions that you've been ping-ponging around in your head for months and years at a time, some of you decades. This is the place where we're gonna answer those questions. And this is the place where we're gonna encourage you to go after those big dreams. This is the place where I'm gonna tell you your goals are